Awards and penalties are becoming more and more common throughout the state of New York to try to get people vaccinated. Recently, Bill de Blasio, the mayor of New York City, has initiated rewards of those who are boosted, getting $100 per person. Is this a stepping stone to what is to come for the future concerning Bible prophecy, particularly the mark of the beast?
Here in New York City, between now and the end of the year. So it's a limited time opportunity over these next days. Get your booster shot, get a $100 incentive. It's going to make you feel a lot safer, a lot better that you got the booster, and you'll have some more cash in your pocket at the same time. That's going to be a good feeling, particularly this time of year. You can go to any of the city-run sites that provide vaccination.
Awards and penalties are becoming more and more common throughout the state of New York to try to get people vaccinated. The Bible predicts a very similar scenario where the mark of the beast is enforced, whether they get financial awards or penalties, and will be fully enforced, and ultimately the death penalty against those who do not go along with it. Many people are confused as what the mark of the beast is. Is it a vaccine, a RFID chip implanted under the skin? What is it? In order to know what the mark is, we have to know who the beast is first, for it is the mark of the beast after all. We find who this beast is in Revelation chapter 13. In Revelation chapter 13 verse 1 through 10, it gives identifying marks that will rise up out of the sea. It also has a combination of 4 beasts within Daniel chapter 7. The dragon gives its power and authority. It receives a deadly wound. It is then healed. It's also political power. It is also a religious power. It also blasphemes and wars against God's people, ruling for 1,260 days. And it also contains the number 666. The papacy fulfills all the characteristics of this first beast of Revelation chapter 13. The sea represents people according to Revelation chapter 17 verse 15. It states, "And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are people, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues." The papacy came out of Western Europe, a highly populated area. In Daniel chapter 7, we see 4 beasts which are identified as Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome. Why is it that these are all together combined? The papacy holds onto much of the pagan ideas of these nations and the philosophies that are contained therein. From Andrea Rift, The Catholic Spirit, it says within that book, in a certain respect, C has copied her organization from that of the Roman Empire, has preserved and made fruitful the philosophical institutions of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, borrowed from both barbarians and the Byzantine Roman Empire, but always remains herself, thoroughly disguising all elements drawn from external sources. The papacy also received power from the dragon, and obtained its seat and authority from it. Revelation chapter 12 verse 7 through 9 symbolizes the dragon both as Satan and pagan Rome, who sought to kill baby Jesus. And so the Vatican had its authority from Satan, but came directly from the pagan Roman Empire. It will receive a deadly wound. In 1798, Napoleon's army took the Pope captive and lost its power it once had. The papacy would have its deadly wound healing, as we are in the process of seeing that fulfill. As the Pope continues to grow in power, even speaking in Congress, it proves the papacy as a religious and political power that is growing in strength. The papacy also claims to forgive sins, and the Pope claims to be God, which is blasphemy. It also waged war against God's people, which killed millions of Christians during the Dark Ages, a conservative estimate of 15 million people. It will also reign for 1,260 prophetic days, which is 102,060 literal years instead of days, as a day equals a year in Bible prophecy. The Pope's title, Vicarius Filii Dei, carries the Roman numerals 666, Latin, Greek, and Hebrew. All these identifying marks say that the papacy is the beast. So what is the mark of the papacy's authority? What is it? It has to be the opposite to what God's mark is, which is the Sabbath. Ezekiel chapter 20 verse 20 states, "I also gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Lord who sanctifies them." The Sabbath signifies creation and redemption, of which Jesus Christ came and did, but Rome has been a catalyst of that attack against Jesus Christ to try and revert this symbolism. The Roman Catholic Church has set up its own mark of authority. From Stephen Keenan, A Doctrinal Catechism, it states, Question, have you any other way of proving that the Church has power to institute festivals of precept? Answer, has she not had such power, She could not have done that in which all modern religiousness agree with her. She could have not substituted the observance of Sunday, the first day of the week, for the observance of Saturday, the seventh day of the week, a change for which there is no scriptural authority. So the papacy changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. This means the mark of the beast has to do with Sunday and not the COVID-19 vaccine. But what is the COVID vaccine all about? Why is it being enforced so heavily within the United States? The vaccine is really a stepping stone towards this direction. The papacy has had a long history of mandates, not only concerning Sunday, but also vaccines. In an article from NCR Online, it states, when popes were kings, they ordered all their subjects in the papal states to be vaccinated, using punishments and rewards to convince the hesitant and making sure the poor and the prisoners were inoculated as well. Pope Francis has very heavily spoken in favor of the poor, the prisoner, the oppressed, all these groups of people. And Bill de Blasio is really enforcing a mandate, which the papacy has done previously. Can we not expect more vaccine mandates possibly? And possibly can we get a Sunday mandate in the near future for the common good to help protect your neighbor, so-called? The vaccine is not the mark of the beast. But with these things in mind, it should concern us for the future, for this nation, and for our faith. This is Carlos with Truthseekermedia.